Nous, en France, on fait face en ce moment beaucoup à cette question en France, parce que depuis quelques années, on a une méfiance vis-à-vis des experts, et notamment des experts statistiques, des statistiques. Et je vais vous raconter une petite anecdote récente parce que ça va illustrer ce que je vous dis. On est mis dans un contexte un peu difficile en ce moment parce qu'il y a un rapport qui est sorti au début de l'année et qui a été un peu difficile, qui a suscité beaucoup de polémiques. Alors ce rapport, il a été fait par un ancien conseiller du président de la République, François Mitterrand. C'est un conseiller qui s'appelle Jacques Attali et qui est un pur produit du système français. C'est-à-dire, il a fait toutes les grandes écoles que vous pouvez imaginer, presque toutes. C'est la Polytechnique, l'ENA, tout. Et on lui a demandé de réfléchir à la manière d'améliorer la croissance en France. Parce que en France, la croissance de l'économie est inférieure à celle de nos voisins européens. Et l'idée, c'est de dire qu'il n'y a pas de raison que nous, on ne puisse pas non plus avoir une croissance plus forte. Donc on a demandé à Jacques Attali de réunir des experts et de produire un rapport. Et c'est ce qu'il a fait. Il a produit un rapport au début de l'année 2008. Et ce rapport, en fait, a été assez mal reçu parce que, notamment, ces experts disaient, bah, écoutez, voilà, nous, on a pensé le tout, on a fait 316 propositions, c'est à prendre ou à laisser. Et ça, les Français, quand on leur dit c'est à prendre ou à laisser, parce que nous, experts, on vous le dit, ça, les Français n'aiment pas du tout. Et ça a créé une polémique très très grande dans le pays. On s'est focalisé sur une mesure, alors pour vous donner une idée, il y avait donc 316 mesures, hein, vous pouvez imaginer, sur toute la croissance. On en a retenu surtout une pour les chauffeurs de taxi. Parce que au milieu de ces 316 mesures, Jacques Attali avait dit, bah, il n'y a pas assez de taxis. Si vous êtes allé à Paris, vous vous en êtes rendu compte, hein, on n'a pas moyen d'avoir un taxi, ça c'est vrai. Donc là, pour le coup, les statistiques rejoignent l'instinct, le bon sens. Et donc il a dit, il faudra avoir plus de taxis. Instantanément, les chauffeurs de taxi se sont mis en grève en disant ça va faire baisser le prix de la licence. Et à chaque fois que Jacques Attali allait comme ça devant la presse ou à la télévision, donc il disait je vais vous parler de mon rapport, et à chaque fois on lui disait, il s'attendait à ce qu'on lui demande comment vous allez faire, la croissance, les grandes idées, et on lui disait alors les chauffeurs de taxi, qu'est-ce que vous en pensez? Très très régulier. Et finalement ça a montré aussi ce décalage entre guillemets les élites qui produisent et qui analysent ces statistiques et la population. Et c'est un vrai problème que nous aurons aussi dans notre exercice France 2025. Et c'est pour ça qu'on ne veut pas qu'il n'y ait qu'une dimension chiffrée. On veut les deux. On veut une dimension chiffrée, mais on veut aussi, ce qu'on dit, raconter des histoires, décrire des futurs, pour ne pas aussi donner l'impression que c'est simplement un travail d'expert.
Just to take up a bit from the last question too, a visiting Australian cabinet minister here for, I won't say how long ago because that would identify him, said in a mournful tone to me once, he said, you know, good politics and good policy rarely coincide. And you know that's true, it's often true. And one of the aims of this great exercise which you've just gone through is to try to remove that difference between policy, good policy and good politics. If you can involve the best stakeholders in the process, give them the feeling that they are at the origin of the policy, they have a responsibility to carry it through, to sell it, then a lot of that gap between good politics and good policy is eliminated, and that is what they're trying to do. We, with this enormous effort which we have underway, these 10 groups produced 10 big ideas each. Those 10 big ideas were presented at the end of the two-day process, quite amazing, to the Prime Minister, who responded immediately for a few of them and has committed to respond to each of them in detail at the end of the year. So it's a very short time process. And the idea is a big one. And I should say this is not just ideas about things like, you know, we should do something about climate change, you know, something stupid like that. There are specific things that we should be doing. So direct policy recommendations in every one of these categories. So things that perhaps by itself, certainly you and me as bureaucrats would probably never have the courage to put up because you'd be stomped on. a political party would know it couldn't get away with it, but coming as an upwelling from the community, it's got a chance of being done. Now, you know,
early in the governance mandate.
Very early in the government, while the government is new and has a mandate to get things going too, so the political stars are well aligned as well.
And from a private sector perspective in Germany, Ingo, what was your take on that?
I mean, so talking about the uptake, we even wrote an article about that, how to improve the impact of foresight for businesses. To cut a long story short, use pictures. That's why we do. That's why we do the pictograms.
Simple forms of expression.
Simple forms of expression, because you always have to take in mind. We had with our chairman, we had an hour discussion, an hourly discussion. Normally, you get 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
This is the reason why we use pictures and images. Boil it down to very understandable things. Always provide cases, make it plausible. Synchronize it with the organization. That is to say, we have been talking to different MDs in different business units, and we have been also trying that with German government.
And I think your role is vital if you do go through this process. It's all very well, I mean, and again, referring back, if I might, to our case, it's all very well to bring 10 times 100 of the best brains into the country to talk around, but then what happens to it? It just becomes words in the ether, unless someone like you is around to try to distill it into something. And that was the process. We relied on people just like yourself. Somebody is here from the Prime Minister's department. In fact, George. I think you've already met George, but it was relying on young public servants to distill what was going on and to translate that into policy document, if you like, policy proposals. You know, you get, we would have in the economic sphere, for example, the head of the central bank, who would be your equivalent boss, the heads of all the major Australian banks, the heads of the biggest companies. You know, you can imagine the sorts of ideas that come up, but you can also imagine they're not very good at putting them together into a policy format. That's where people like you came into their own. And so, if I had any advice on it, I would simply say, make sure that you, as up-and-coming public servants, that you keep your eyes on the issues, on the main issues. So you have to be policy literate and policy competent, and not just in your immediate area. There were, I'm told, 4 general themes which went right across virtually all of these 10 fields of modern governance. One, obviously, is climate change, which is going to affect most topics. Most things are going to have climate change. The second thing was a feeling that, as Australia, we had to move much more aggressively to a national approach to problems, and minimise state, we call them states, you call them provinces, minimise provincial differences. That applies to education, applies to social, applies to culture, applies to everything, to try and get to a national approach. That was a very strong message. The third one was we had to work much harder in developing people, our national asset of people, both in terms of better education delivery, better training, better resources for older people, everything to make a more productive and more fulfilled workforce and population. And then finally, the other sort of cross silo stream, if you like, would be strengthening civil society, in our case, and perhaps in yours too. That would cover things like integration of immigrants and, of course, Indigenous issues. So I think those 4 general themes washed across the 10 individual topic silos.